Welcome back everyone to another NRG on the Amstrad CPC. Yes, this is Pac-Man on the Amstrad CPC. The original Pac-Man, of course, never got an official port on the Amstrad back in the day. Especially after, when you see the absolutely abysmal mess that is the Atari 2600 version of Pac-Man, the official version. Never got an official version on the Amstrad, but this is as close to the official version as you're going to get. Essentially, it's an emulator for the arcade machine put onto the good old Amstrad. And it does a fair and decent job. It doesn't do a perfect job, but it does a fair and decent job of the Pac-Man experience. But I will go through the details. There's not really much to review of Pac-Man. Everyone knows of Pac-Man if you're watching a games channel, surely. You're Mr. Man himself. Mr. Man, capital P. Eating his little pills, running away from the ghosts, Blinky and Clyde and Blindy. I always forget their bloody names. Clyde and Blinky are the only ones to remember. It just said it at the beginning there. But anyway, yes, Speedy, is that one of them? Oh, nearly got stuck. Anyway, let's go down here. Ooh, snap, got ya. There we go. Yes, get your power pills, eat them, and progress to the next level, and the high levels get harder and harder. Recently done a couple of reviews on some updated Pac-Man versions recently. This has been absolutely fine. Very good stuff, but this is, like I say, an emulation of the original arcade on the Amstrad. Now, it's pretty decent. The layout looks pretty nice. The graphics look very nice indeed. It's using mode 1, so you obviously got that stippling effect on a couple of the ghosts to get the colours there. For instance, old orange one. That's Clyde, isn't it? Yes, the orange one. It's obviously a stippled effect there with the red and the yellow mixture, which is a kind of nice sort of thing. I think the purple one's mixtured as well, a little stipple on that. So yes, it's doing a fine job with the use of colour. Obviously using the mode 1 to get a sort of a higher resolution. Yes, it's nice, it works functional, it controls well, moves well. It's a little bit on the slow side, I would hasten to add. It could be a little bit nippier. I would definitely want it to be a little bit nippier. And also, oh bloody hell, that was close. And also, there is a few sort of glitches in the game. They aren't game breaking, they're just a little bit of an annoyance. There's a few glitches, especially the transition between levels, the little animations that you get between like stages as well. They're glitched a little bit. And you can see there's certainly some sort of interesting thing going on with sort of like the speed differences between Pac-Man and the ghosts sometimes. Nothing major. The sound effects do a decent job of trying to emulate the original arcade. Here we go. I'll show you this is what happens here. So sort of a little glitch there, like that. Yeah, not bad. It's not game breaking. It's just a little bit of annoying. You see the speed here. Look, Pac-Man's really closing in on them. And I think actually that does actually happen in the arcade, of course. So a bit of flickering going on there. No flickering in game though. The sound effects are, well, should we say they are really attempting to be faithful to the arcade. I don't think they are, sadly. They're not that accurate, but you can tell they really are trying to be accurate, which is a good thing. Certainly, the jingle tune is a little bit off. It's almost like a slightly off key. It's almost there, and it's fine for the Amstrad. It's perfectly fine for the Amstrad. It's quite a well accomplished score and effects collection, really, for the Amstrad. It's not bad at all. But if you're looking at for ultimate arcade accuracy, then I'm afraid it's not really on it. But it is close to it. I suppose it's the... Ooh, that is got the... Now, there's a little bit of a collision issue there, wasn't there? Yeah, not quite on it with the sound. But, sometimes can sound a little bit grating on the ears. But mostly it's fine. Like I said, graphics and but the playability of this is perfectly fine. There is one interesting thing I've noticed about it, however, and that's if you've played Pac-Man, for any longer than a couple of hours, you notice and you recognise the patterns of the ghosts and the way the ghosts move sometimes, and what they do. You have sort of like chase mode and scatter mode and all that kind of thing. These ghosts are just always in random mode, it seems. Occasionally they will go into sort of like a chase mode. But most of the time they're just wandering. They're just utterly wandering. And it doesn't happen in Pac-Man. They don't really wander a lot. You can be forgiven that they are wandering when they go into scatter mode. But essentially when they do that is they home in on the corners. And I don't see that happening in this version of Pac-Man. So the AI for the ghosts doesn't appear to be the same as it would have normally been. Now, I could be wrong. Stop me if I'm wrong. Tell me in the comments and shout me down. But it just doesn't feel like they are. And the clue to that, for me, is that the ghosts turn around. And I don't remember the ghosts in Pac-Man. Apart from when you eat a power pill, they never turn around. Especially when they're in chase mode. Or any kind of mode, scatter mode or whatever. So if you can chase a ghost once it's in one stream of movement, and it won't turn around on the spot on you unless you eat a power pill. Because when you eat a power pill, what happens? They automatically, all the ghosts should automatically turn around instantly. But unfortunately, that doesn't seem to happen. So the mechanics, the AI mechanics on the ghosts are certainly different. They're different on this than they are on the traditional Pac-Man. So, as a version of Pac-Man, it's really good. It's presented really well. It's got pretty decent effects and music. So the gameplay is really good. The graphics are excellent to emulate the arcade. But I think as an ultimate emulator, to be an arcade experience, it doesn't feel like it's an arcade. It does feel like it's a version, a port, which is fine. Which is what I would have wanted, to be honest, on the Amstrad. A port of Pac-Man and not an emulation. But there we go, those are my criticisms of this. It's decent, and it's playable, and it's fun, and it's Pac-Man on the Amstrad. And, you know, we never got Pac-Man on the Amstrad before, and I'm dead. That's a good way to wrap it up. Thanks for watching. Novabug, out. Hey, Novabug here. I do hope you enjoyed this video. Please support the channel by liking and commenting, and of course subscribing if you haven't already done. If you would like to support me further, please consider joining my Bug Army via Patreon. And also don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Parler, BitChute and Twitch. And a salute to my Bug Army generals Sam M, Sweet Nanak, Pete Walker and Craig Harrison. Thank you everyone for supporting me. Novabug, out.